Hello, Tubers! It is another Philosophical Friday here in Florida. I am sitting out here on my back porch. All of those of you who follow me from the Northeast can be jealous because I am out here crafting on my back porch with Sam. There is a parrot butt for you. He is very busily covering up his food dish and ripping things up. I'm going to turn very slowly back this way. Yes, I am. So, we're going to start with, for those of you who are crafters, what I am doing is I am making alcohol ink backgrounds. This is the way that I like to do it. This is incredibly simple. These are, man, you can't tell. These are alcohol pearlescent backgrounds, and I love these things for cards and things. So it is incredibly simple. I don't think I can do this. Anyway, literally I have over here, I have a brush. Let me do this here. I have a painter's brush. This is a 1-inch Langnickel large area artist brush L277. So that's what I have here. And this is 99% alcohol, isopropyl alcohol, Swan from Amazon. And I literally, and this honestly is poster board from the Dollar Tree. Yeah, that I cut up into pieces, and then I shake up my alcohol ink, squirt it on. You want to squirt it on in the direction you want the stripes to go, and then I use my brush to kind of brush it out. And I use that to make backgrounds to alcohol lift on, or just put stamped sentiments on, or things like that, because I think it's seriously cool. It makes like a shiny background. You can like cut sentiments out of it, all kinds of stuff. Cheap, makes really cool. If you cut your sentiment out of it, you can also do like clear Nuvo drops over it, makes a bulky sentiment. You can emboss over it, makes really cool sentiments. Anyway, there's that. What am I going to talk about on this Philosophical Friday? Well, here's the deal. Staying inside your own hula hoop. Okay, what do I mean by that? All right, so all of us have this tendency, because we are clan animals, to want to give other people advice. We do. And we want to say to people, oh, hey, girlfriend, this is what I did and it worked for me. And then when people go, oh, thank you so very much, and they don't do what we want them to do, or they don't follow our plan, or they don't follow what we did, we want to get mad at them. Don't they know that I know the very best for them? We don't know the very best for them. We just don't. We don't. We're not living in their skin, in their life, in their family, with their husband and their children and their dogs and their job and their tummy troubles and their headaches and their blood system and their blood pressure and their feet and their back and their car and their their mother and their father and their stepfather and their stepbrother and their crazy aunt from New Jersey, and we don't know any of that. We don't know any of that. So all we can do is literally stay inside our own hula hoop. So I like to imagine that I have a hula hoop around me. I know what works for this body and in this life. I know what works for me and Mr. Fabulous, the man that I am married to. He is Mr. Fabulous. I don't say that lightly. That man has put up with me for 26 years. And when I say, hey, let's build a parrot playground off the kitchen window, he says, let's think about that. I bet I can do it. And me and Sam are ecstatic, and he'll figure out how to do it. Chicken wire and some 2x4s, and we will have a parrot playground out our kitchen window. And I won't have to spend all day on the lanai with Sam. I can shove him out the kitchen window, and he will have fun, and the dogs won't be able to get him, and life will be great. Or not. Anybody want a small dachshund mix? Yeah, who keeps wanting to eat my parrots. Anyway, separate issue. Um, and I can't keep people healthy. I can't keep people sober. I can't keep people from being sad. I can't keep people from getting divorced. I can't keep people from getting married. I can't keep any of this from happening. All I can say is, if somebody gets drunk every Friday night and calls you a hoe, you might want to think about that, because I doubt very much that's going to get better once you get married. And then I get to leave it alone. I get to leave it alone. I don't get to say, I told you so. I don't get to say, well, you made your bed, you lie in it. I don't get to say any of that. If I am a true friend, I get to say, wow, I'm really sad. What are you going to do? But I don't get to say, I don't get to run out of my hula hoop. I don't get to fix it. I don't get to change it. One of the programs that I run in says, you know what? I didn't cause it. I can't cure it, and I can't control it. I can't control it. I can't control it. That's one of the big things about staying in my hula hoop. What I can do is I can say, this is what has worked for me. This is my reaction. If you, I will. And then if the person ifs, then I will. That's the reality. I get to decide how I'm going to be treated inside my hula hoop. So, my husband and I had this really interesting discussion the other day. He said to me, I feel like I'm being manipulated. And I said to him, I don't. And he said, why not? Look at all this behavior. And I said, but it's not manipulation unless I let it be. Manipulation is when you let somebody come into your hula hoop and change your behavior. If I'm in my hula hoop and I watch somebody come into my hula hoop and I say, excuse me, that's my hula hoop, please step back. And they say, oh, but I'm going to do all of this for you. And I say, you can, but it's not going to change my behavior. I said, if you, I will, and that still stands. They can do whatever they want in their hula hoop. It doesn't change my behavior. And I got to tell you, that has kept me in the last couple of decades from getting mad, from getting manipulated. It's made me sad a whole bunch of times. Because a lot of people won't understand that. And they'll say things and they'll do things and they just don't get it. But what it does allow me is it allows me to do what I want to do. By the way, that glance over there is I'm watching my roll of paper towels blow across my lanai. Squirrel! But the reality is, it means that I do me. It means when you meet me, you get me. You may hate it or you may love it, but it's me. And it also means I don't have to remember what I told you. It means I don't have to, make up another story. It means that I know where my hula hoop ends and yours begins. And that, honestly, it's what's kept Mr. Fabulous by my side for 26 years. And it's what kept me by his side for 26 years. We stay out of each other's hula hoops. But at the same time, we can reach across the hula hoop and hold hands. He asked me for my opinion, and I will give him my opinion. But I also know he may not take my opinion, because opinions are like bums. Everybody's got one. And sometimes they stink, And sometimes they're completely self-serving. Sometimes they're valuable. Of course, I tend to take his opinion more than anyone else's because he lives with me. So he sees me a lot. I have a couple of other mentors, and I take their opinions very seriously because they've also known me. One of them has known me, and I have been in her life, and she's been in mine for 20 years. I take her opinion very seriously. The other one I'm still getting to know after a couple of years, but you know what? She's kind of like, she has the same line of thought that I do, and I like her opinion. So when she gives me her opinion, I also listen. I may not take it into my hula hoop, but she stays in her hula hoop. Both of these women stay in their hula hoop. And they're teaching me how to do that. So I'll offer you that. If you need to remember, you might need to get a hula hoop. They're pretty small. Not a lot of room in a hula hoop. And everything in that hula hoop you can control. Everything outside of it, yeah, no. Maybe more for next week. I love you all. I will talk to you all later. Meanwhile, it's like 5 weeks till spring, which means hot and horrible here in Florida, but the rest of you will be way more comfortable.